Lawyer cites fake cases generated by Chat GPT. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of Index Card Insights. This is episode 72, and we're getting into it right here, right now. Let's go. This episode, Lawyer Cites Fake Cases Generated by Chat GPT. Um, I need to read an article to you for context. And I think the way we're going to do it is I'm going to read a little bit of the article and I'm going to give you an insight. I have three insights on this particular story. So as we read it, I'm going to give you my insights. And I'd love to hear your insights. So leave me a comment. Leave me a comment. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think of this story. I would love to hear your opinions on this. I think it floored me, and I think we're going to see more of this stuff. This was on legaldive.com, by the way. Just came out 5 days ago. Lawyer cites fake cases generated by ChatGPT in legal brief. Okay, a New York lawyer cited fake cases generated by ChatGPT in a legal brief filed in federal court and may face sanctions as a result, according to news report. The incident involved OpenAI's chatbot, took place in a personal injury lawsuit filed by a man named Roberto Mata against Colombian airline Avianca, pending in the Southern District of New York. You can't make this stuff up. Roberto Mata was suing Colombian airline Avianca, right, in the Southern District of New York. Stephen A. Schwartz of Levendow, and Oberman, one of the plaintiff's attorneys, wrote an affidavit that he consulted ChatGPT to supplement legal research he performed when preparing a response to Avianca's motion to dismiss. Right? However, Judge P. Kevin Castle wrote an early May order regarding the plaintiff's filing that six of the submitted cases appear to be bogus judicial decisions with bogus quotes and bogus internal citations. He called it an unprecedented circumstance. Basically, the judge said, "Hey, you filed this motion. You filed this motion. You cited all these cases in this motion, and like 6 of them are completely fake. None of this stuff is real." In his affidavit filed later in May, Schwartz said that ChatGPT not only provided the legal sources, but assured him of the reliability of the opinions and citation that the court has called into question. For example, a document attached to his affidavit indicates that he asked the generative AI-powered ChatGPT if one of the 6 cases the judge has called bogus was real, and the chatbot responded that it was. Right? Additionally, he asked ChatGPT if the other cases provided were fake. The chatbot responded that they were also real and can be found in reputable legal databases such as LexisNexis and Westlaw. Schwartz acknowledged in the affidavit that his source for the legal opinions has revealed itself as unreliable. Let me stop this story right here. I want to give you my first insight on this particular situation. Okay, so first insight. Okay, first insight. All right, look. Insight number 1. The average lawyer rates in New York are $76 an hour to $506 an hour. The average attorney salary in New York City, New York is $120,992 a year. Why is this attorney for a well-established law firm using ChatGPT for work that he should be doing himself? Right? I don't need to pay a lawyer $506 an hour to use ChatGPT. Am I right? Why is this professional attorney using ChatGPT for work that he's been paid very well to do himself? It makes no sense. That's my first insight. Why is this happening? Let's continue. in you. Okay. Swartz's mistakes resulted in a story published on the front page of the New York Times, and a judge has scheduled a hearing in the coming weeks to determine possible sanctions. Legal professionals have said Schwartz's actions should serve as a cautionary tale for attorneys using AI powered technology, but should not prompt them to abandon all legal industry use cases of artificial intelligence. There's a need to verify. Legal professionals said that the very basic mistake Schwartz made was his failure to check whether the cases produced by ChatGPT during his research were authentic. Kay Pang, an experienced in house counsel who works at the VMware, wrote on LinkedIn that the lawyer involved didn't follow the most important rule: verify, verify, verify. Nicola Schaefer, the CEO and co-founder of Legal Tech Hub, wrote on LinkedIn, the attorney needed to conduct independent verification. Whoa, really? Wow, okay. Little independent verification required, rather than simply asking ChatGPT if the cases were real. Yeah, no duh. In a recent Law Trades webinar, OpenAI Associate General Counsel Ashley Pantoluiano had called ChatGPT a helpful starting point for legal research, but she warned that it can sometimes produce inaccurate information in response to prompts. So attorneys using the tool should be aware of that. As a lawyer, you don't want to be wrong on what the law is or anything like that. Yeah, anything like that. You're only getting paid like $300 to $500 an hour. I mean, I'm pretty sure that like I don't need to pay you $500 an hour to access something that I can access myself for free. It makes no sense. Why am I paying a professional if they're just going to run to ChatGPT and have them do the work for them? It doesn't make any sense. People are paying these lawyers for their insights, not for their ability to run over to ChatGPT and have something that is clearly less intelligent do the work for them. That makes no sense. Swartz admitted in his affidavit in the Avianca case that he never previously used ChatGPT for conducting legal research and therefore was unaware of the possibility that its contents could be false. Hey, man, I've never used this before. I had no idea that it could provide fake information. Yeah, man, I bet that's a real comfort to your client. The guy who's paying you a ton of money an hour, I bet he's really happy to be your guinea pig for AI research. Anyways, so he also wrote that he greatly regrets having utilized artificial intelligence to supplement the legal research he performed and will never do so in the future without absolute verification of its authenticity. Swartz did not respond to a request for comment Tuesday morning. I am so surprised that he did not respond to a request for comment on Tuesday morning. I I mean, I'm so surprised at that. It's so weird that he would not be available for comment. What's my second insight? Okay, second insight, right? This should be obvious, but yet somehow it's not. Credibility is hard to build, yet easy to destroy. Okay, you know, credibility is hard to build, but easy to destroy. Think about how you build credibility. You build credibility by being reliable over and over and over again. And the more consistent you can be with your reliability, the more credibility you build, right? It's destroyed very easily, you know? I'll give you an example. The last job I had actually working for a company, a legitimate job before I started working for myself, I had built up over 7 years worth of sick time. Like I never called in sick. I very rarely called in sick, and I had a lot of sick time built up. But then my gallbladder went bad, and I started having to use my sick time. And very quickly, I was fired. So like I had all this like credibility built up for being so reliable. I had all this credibility built up for being the reliable guy who always showed up to work. Very quickly, when I actually got sick and I had to use my sick time, that credibility went out the window. It took a long time to build it. It took a long time to build that credibility, but it was destroyed very, very easily, right? And it's the same for our lawyer friend here. You know, he has the credibility of his law firm behind him. People hired him based on his expertise, based on the law firm he worked at, based on his reliability. But very, very quickly, it can be destroyed with things like this. There's just no doubt about it. So let's continue. I got one more insight for you. So let me just say one more thing about that. If your credibility takes a long time to build, but it can be destroyed very quickly with stuff like this, it's really important that you don't think about AI as, I know it just seems like the hot hand right now and everyone's riding it and everyone's trying to figure out the best way to use AI for their businesses. And I don't think that's bad. That's good. Use AI for your business. However, don't over embrace. Don't over embrace AI, because when you over embrace AI, you got to remember it's not AI's reputation that's going to take a hit. It's your reputation that's going to take a hit when things aren't getting solved correctly. When you're producing the wrong answers, when you become less reliable, your credibility is going to take a hit. You're the one who's going to lose, not AI. It's something I've said before, but this is like just an example of it, right? So let's continue. All right. What's the article say? Don't discard role for AI in legal work. Okay. Basically, don't let AI replace you. Alex Su, the head of community development at Ironclad, wrote on Substack that he feared the biggest takeaway most lawyers would have from Schwartz's mistake is that they should never trust AI. They should never trust AI. That he fears that's what should happen. They shouldn't trust AI. They need to verify everything AI says, right? Because they call it AI hallucinations. AI is just prone to just saying the wrong thing sometimes. It just says things that aren't true. It's confidently wrong sometimes. So no, you can't trust AI. You have to verify everything it says. There's no doubt about it. You say that's the biggest takeaway, that's the biggest fear, but that's the fear that they should have. Professional lawyers being paid professional wages should not trust AI to do their work for them. They should be verifying everything. He said this mindset would be a mistake for several reasons, including that ChatGPT is not synonymous with AI, nor is it the same as all legal tools powered by artificial intelligence. Sue highlighted that there are companies with a history of making legal customers successful who offer AI-powered legal tech tools. But then think about it. Then he contradicts himself. Right? Then he says, now that doesn't mean that their generative AI products will be 100% reliable. Of course, Sue wrote. But vendors will be incentivized to warn users and speak candidly about their accuracy rates, which should far exceed ChatGPT's, at least for law-related use cases. It's a lot of double speak. There's a whole lot of speculative talk here. A whole lot of little minute details going on here. So it's interesting. He encourages lawyers to approach AI with a learning mindset and remember it's most effective as a first pass or first draft tool. Shaver also said attorneys should not throw the baby out with the bathwater when it comes to AI and should recognize they will be using this technology no matter what anyway. Wow. Educating yourself now is the best way to pave the way for your future, Shaver wrote on LinkedIn. Be aware of what products are building this tech into legal research workflows and how they are tuning their solutions to provide reliable responses. Okay? Very interesting. Let me just repeat that last part. Schaefer also said attorneys should not throw the baby out with the bathwater when it comes to AI and should recognize they will be using this technology no matter what anyways. right? So that leads me into my third insight. Um, when you say we'll be using this technology no matter what anyway, that sounds a lot like, being forced, right? I don't like the sound of that. I don't like that how that sounds. Why should these professionals who are paid to do something, paid very well, by the way, to do something, why will they be using this no matter what, anyways? Why can't they just do the work on their own? They're being paid very well to do so. They've hired good paralegals who also make pretty good money to do the research for them and to help them. Why will they be forced to use AI in the future? I think that's a question we all need to ask. Why would this technology be forced upon us? I think that we need to maintain our ability to use this technology how we want to use this technology, not have it forced upon us. I think that the big takeaway for me that this article is not mentioning is, why would a lawyer who's paid very, very well disrespect his paying client so much as to use a artificial intelligence chatbot to cite cases and not even bother to look up whether it's real or not, right? It's a good question, right? The thing about ChatGPT is everything it says sounds legitimate. Okay, this is important. This is an important thing to realize. It sounds legitimate. It passes the eyeball test. It doesn't mean it is legitimate. ChatGPT is very good at just making things up and making them sound good, even though they might not be real at all, right? There's going to be more stuff like this coming. This is just the beginning. It's very important to use this stuff, but not to over embrace this stuff. You have to verify anything this thing says. Okay, you have to fact check anything it says. You never know when it's going to say something that's completely false or only 60% true, and then your credibility is going to take a hit. That's all I got today, guys. I hope this episode's been insightful for you. You're going to be seeing more and more stuff like this in the world as people start to embrace AI, as AI starts to take a bigger foothold in a lot of different markets in the world. We really have to be able to pay attention to its strengths and weaknesses, and we really have to be careful how we utilize it and not to over embrace it or under embrace it, right? We can't just reject this technology. It is the future, but we can't over embrace it either at the risk of just, we over embrace it at the risk of destroying our own credibility. Okay. If you guys like this, be sure to check out epicconversions.com. That's where I put all my stuff. I got an ECIC group calls membership club over there. We meet every single Thursday, and I go deep on strategy for internet marketing, tips, tactics, strategies on how to get your online business going properly and making good money and being successful. I got my ECIC discounts club where I write newsletters and do courses for people. It's a great little club. I got things for sale. Anyways, whatever. Everything I do is over at epicconversions.com. You can find more about me over there. Hope you guys are going to have an amazing day today, and I will see you in the next episode of Index Card Insights. Peace, you guys.